In 1993, a tragic standoff between federal agents and a religious sect in Waco, Texas, captivated the nation's attention and left lasting scars on American history.
No well in the world would have stopped this fire from spreading across that compound, and the only well on the property has...
An additional consideration in this matter is the talk earlier today of an underground tunneling system of which...
This documentary delves into the complex story of David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. David Koresh, born Vernon Wayne Howell on August 17, 1959, emerged as a charismatic leader of the Branch Davidians, a religious group that splintered from the Seventh-day Adventist Church under Koresh's influence. The Branch Davidians established their compound at Mount Carmel, just outside Waco, Texas, where they lived a secluded and communal lifestyle. Koresh preached his interpretations of biblical prophecies, claiming to be the final prophet who would unlock the mysteries of the apocalypse. His teachings combined elements of Christianity with his apocalyptic visions, which resonated deeply with his followers. The Branch Davidians' beliefs centered around Koresh's authority and his prediction of an impending apocalypse. They practiced strict celibacy outside of Koresh himself and stockpiled weapons, believing in an eventual confrontation with hostile forces as part of their apocalyptic worldview. The group's isolation and dedication to Koresh's teaching created a sense of fervent devotion among its members, who saw themselves as preparing spiritually and physically for the end of times.
And it will be just a matter of minutes before the entire massive compound is just charcoal. Still, Suzanne?
Tensions between the Branch Davidians and law enforcement escalated in early 1993 when the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives (ATF) obtained a search warrant for Mount Carmel, suspecting illegal weapons stockpiling and possible child abuse inside the compound.
It makes nobody's business whether we have a gun or not at this place. Guns are the right of Americans to have.
On February 28, 1993, the ATF launched a raid on Mount Carmel that quickly turned deadly. A firefight ensued, resulting in the deaths of 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians. The failed raid marked the beginning of a prolonged standoff. Following the ATF raid, the FBI took over negotiations with Koresh and the Branch Davidians. Surrounded by federal agents, the compound became the focal point of a 51-day standoff that gripped the nation's attention. Negotiations were conducted through Koresh's chosen intermediary, Steve Schneider, as both sides attempted to find a peaceful resolution.
Speaking with.
This is David Koresh.
Okay, David.
The notorious.
David, what I'm doing is I'm trying to establish some communication links with you.
No. Let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
You see, you brought a bunch of guys out here and you killed some of my children. We told you we wanted to talk. How come you try to be so big all the time?
Okay,
Now,
David.
there's a bunch of us dead, there's a bunch of you guys dead. Now that's your fault.
Okay, let's try to resolve this now. All right, we're going to send in 4 ATF agents. Can you pass that word?
Well, I tell you what are they going to be dressed in?
Pardon me?
Are they going to be dressed in white, unarmed?
All right, stand by.
However, tensions continued to escalate as supplies dwindled inside the compound.
Exit the compound now.
The Waco Siege garnered extensive media coverage, with journalists reporting on the daily developments and interviewing survivors and experts. The media's presence and portrayal on the standoff added to the controversy and scrutiny surrounding the government's handling of the situation. Outside Mount Carmel, public opinion varied widely, with some sympathizing with Branch Davidians' right to religious freedom and others supporting law enforcement efforts to resolve the standoff peacefully. On April 19, 1993, after weeks of negotiation reached an impasse, the FBI launched launched a final assault on the compound. Armored vehicles breached the walls of Mount Carmel, deploying tear gas in an attempt to force the Branch Davidians out. Tragically, a fire erupted inside the compound, engulfing Mount Carmel in flames.
Everything set it on fire, but still.
Claim to be the prophet, you claim to be the Messiah. The time is to feed your people now.
76 Branch Davidians, including David Koresh, perished in the fire. The exact cause of the fire remains disputed, with some believing it was started by tear gas and the others suggesting it was set intentionally by the Branch Davidians. The conclusion of the Waco Siege shocked the nation and sparked intense scrutiny and debate.
When I think of Waco, I think of murder and cover-up.
Questions arose about the FBI's tactics, the handling of negotiations, and the decision to use the tear gas. Investigations and congressional hearings followed, seeking answers for accountability.
There are still many more questions than answers.
Suicide or murder. What do you think happened?
Critics accused federal authorities of mishandling the standoff and escalating tensions, leading to the tragic loss of life. Others defended the actions of law enforcement, arguing they were dealing with an armed and potentially dangerous group.
What went wrong with ATF? What went wrong with FBI?
The Waco Siege left a profound impact on American law enforcement practices and public perception. It raised awareness about the challenges of dealing with armed religious groups and prompted revisions in tactics for handling similar situations in the future. The tragedy prompted soul-searching about religious freedoms, government oversight, and the role of American media in covering continuous events. It continues to serve as a cautionary tale about the complexities of belief, authority, and the consequences of confrontation. Today, Mount Carmel stands as a solemn memorial to those who lost their lives in the Waco Siege. Visitors come to pay their respects and reflect on the events that unfolded there, contemplating the broader implications for religious liberty and law enforcement practices. The legacy of David Koresh and the Branch Davidians serves as a reminder for the need of dialogue, understanding, and peaceful resolution in times of conflict. It underscores the human cost when ideologies clash and negotiation fail. David Koresh and the Waco Siege remains a poignant chapter in American history, a story of faith, fear, and tragedy. As we remember the lives lost and lessons learned, we strive to prevent such conflicts from repeating, developing a society where differences can be solved without violence. Let us honor the memory of those who perished at Mount Carmel and seek a future where understanding and compassion prevail. The story of David Koresh and the Waco Siege serves as a reminder of the enduring quest for justice, truth, and peace.